Hello and good afternoon, Xbox Nation. Welcome to this week's episode of X Vlog Live. I am, well, one of your hosts, Mr. BoomStick XL. We're just awaiting the arrival of C Money. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of really killer topics to get into. One of which is going to be kind of trying to, I guess the word I'm looking for is knock down the Call of Duty hating community. Because apparently Call of Duty was dead because of Battlefield. We got some new information that is going to really kind of put Battlefield in its place where I expected it to be. Now, again, I'm not a Battlefield hater. I played the beta quite extensively, as a matter of fact, and I thought it was boring. Um, I was always a Battlefield person, many moons ago, but that has changed. But let me bring my brother from another end. Hey, C Money, what's going on, dude? How's everything?
It's going, man. It's going well, man. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing fine. I got up today. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm so freaking sore right now because today was chest day, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This old man's pecs are screaming bloody murder. But you know what? It's me trying to get stay in shape, and it was worth the 45 minutes that I put into it. But yeah, listen, you know what? See, Money, can we just talk about Xbox for a second on how they are dominating the conversation in gaming? Look, I know there's going to be a couple of stands. I know there might be a couple of ponies. There might be even a couple of toxic MFs in the chat, which won't last very long, thanks to Lethal Papa and some of the other modders. But the truth of the matter is this, look. This is not the year to hate on Xbox because, quite frankly, there's nothing to hate on. They will have the most released games on every platform. Maybe not Switch. I know that Black Ops 7 was found in the Codex where it's going to be coming to Switch this year. At least that's what we're seeing, or that's what I've read. But Xbox has potentially 10 titles launching on PlayStation 5, along with a ridiculous amount of games launching on their own console. This is the way you celebrate a 25th anniversary. But we have two topics, C-Money, that we're going to get into. And one, of course, is Call of Duty versus Battlefield. And we're going to open up with that. So, folks, you've heard me say this before. This is not a surprise. I enjoy evidence-based conversation because opinions are just that. They're your opinions. You're allowed to have them. But that doesn't mean they're right, wrong, or indifferent. They're just your opinions. Well, I like facts, ladies and gentlemen. I like numbers. I like facts. I like articles with numbers and facts. And I have all of that here for you. And see, Money, let's break down some of these numbers, okay? Because numbers are the real the tell of the tale, so to speak. So I have a story here by Brendan Lowry of WindowsCentral.com. And the header is, while Arc Raiders cruises, Battlefield 6 player count has plummeted on Steam charts, but why? Well, first and foremost, I hear your computer going off again with the notification. Yeah, right. So you can't hear it, but I think everyone else can.
Yeah, that's fine. We're in it. It should be going on.
But see, Money, there is a report that is floating around that on Steam, not on console. We're going to get to console, folks. So walk with me on this one, okay? On Steam right now, Battlefield 6 has lost, get this, ladies and gentlemen, 93% of its player base. I mean, I don't know if you can consider that flopflation or whatever the kids are going to call it.
Wow.
But 93% of the player base has left this game. Now, why? We're going to go back to the article by Brendan in a second. I think there's a couple of reasons. Now, again, one of the things that I automatically jumped off the page for me when I was in the beta was the grind to get your level. I think the grind, even in the beta, was ridiculous. And many of the complaints I've read online are this grind for weapons, for gear. And let's talk gear for a second. I'm sorry, folks, and this is going to sound like I'm a hater, but I'm not. those skins are boring AF. They're just generic Dollar Tree level skins. One has a grenade on the shoulder on the left. The other one has a grenade on the shoulder on the right. One's a little bit green. The other one's a little bit khaki. Folks, listen, I'm sorry. That's boring. Now, this is in front of you, Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6, Black Ops 6. And I called the folks over at Activision cowards. And I still believe that they pulled all the skins back because they were worried about Battlefield and the no skins. And let me tell you something right now. People want skins. And here's a factoid. Here's a factoid, C Money. The number one selling skin on Call of Duty to this day, do you know what it is? Take a wild guess. Take a stab at it. Well, what do you think it is?
Maybe the Beavis and Butthead one?
Well, no, it was Nicki Minaj. That is the number one selling freaking skin. Crazy. And look, I wouldn't take that for free, but people apparently bought it. Here's my thing. I want to go to the charts. Again, these are numbers, folks. So shout out to the Gaming Prophet NYC. This guy is, in my opinion, doing the gaming god's work on the socials. So he was responding to someone that basically, and again, I won't use their name because, we don't want to embarrass anyone. I'm actually shouting out a Prophet, so he wouldn't mind. But he responded to someone saying, I don't think those numbers are real, responding to Circana's numbers about Call of Duty, where it is in the charts for both PlayStation and Xbox versus Battlefield. And this person that he responded to says, I don't think those numbers are real. Like, who's even playing Call of Duty? Nobody's playing it. Nobody talks about it. Engagement is so low, something is very off. So Gaming Prophet responded by saying, dudes believe that because no one's talking about Call of Duty on social media equates to nobody's playing Call of Duty. He doesn't understand that social media is not a real place and doesn't represent the real world. And he's 1,000% saying, Paris Lilly says that all the time, that the internet isn't real. He's right. So let's go with the numbers. C Money. Let's talk numbers because that is ultimately where we're going to get to. So on the Xbox side of things, number 2 out of the top 15, well, where is it? It's Call of Duty. Not a surprise. All the way down in the middle at the number 8 spot is Battlefield 6. Let's look at PlayStation. What is number 2? That would also be Call of Duty. At the 11th spot on the PlayStation 5's top 15 Circana for the week ending in January 3rd, there's Battlefield 6. Look, I have a strong suspicion that unless they get their shit together, they're going to lose the community altogether. And this is not surprising. We have seen this, C-Money, happen battlefield after battlefield after battlefield after battlefield. And I think 6 ultimately, unless it makes some serious changes to its content output and does some serious changes to the grind on weapons and gear, maybe even changing up the gear. Like, I actually think they're going to have to bend the knee if they want people to spend money in this thing and get some more interestingly designed skins, because those skins are ugly, they're boring, and apparently no one's buying them. And this is, a game that, you live and die on the microtransactions. And I got some numbers for microtransactions we'll get to in a second, but let's get your thoughts on this because, C-Money, if I recall correctly, we had this conversation. Call of Duty was dead because of Battlefield. I guess they keep coming back like Xbox.
Yeah, I think that's the crazy part. Like, we talked about it so many times where we pleaded with people like, yo, don't put that type of hype on Battlefield. Is never gonna work out for you.
Yep.
Now, to be fair, they did capture the zeitgeist in that moment, right? There was a lot of, obviously, people are always ready to hate on Xbox, or now including Call of Duty. So in that moment when the hype was there and people were like, oh, Call of Duty does all these stupid skins, and Battlefield's like, oh, we're not gonna do that, right? Like, they captured the moment, right? And there's a lot of people who bought the game based off of that idea, especially probably newer players who haven't really messed with Battlefield. And then all of a sudden they go play Battlefield and realize that not many people like Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why Call of Duty is always played and Battlefield is not. And I'm not saying Battlefield is a bad game, like to be clear, but it's not a solo endeavor. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to play by yourself, which I think unfortunately most people, most adults, most grown people don't have the ability to schedule play dates with other grown adults all the time. You know what I'm saying? So grown people typically will go into a game solo. It's just if they're, pretty big gamers, they're going to go solo because it's difficult to get other adults to line up in your exact same schedule, right? So sadly for Battlefield 6, without a good team squad, like a good squad that you're in, it's really not that fun of a game. I try to do some of the team deathmatch modes that make it a little smaller. But then now you're directly competing with what Call of Duty does better than anybody else. And then at a certain point, it's like, why am I playing this? If this is what I'm looking for, I'm just going to go back and play Call of Duty. Right. And I think that's what everyone does, unfortunately. So they sold a shit ton. Battlefield 6 crushed it. It sold so much. They rolled that wave of Call of Duty hate to the bank, right? Which is great for them. So even if they don't get a lot of microtransactions in this one, the old Battlefields with the microtransactions probably didn't sell as much as Battlefield 6 did just, off the rip, let alone, with the few transactions that people are going to do on it, right? So I think Battlefield's problem is that it's Battlefield and they can't change it, because if they change it, then they have to compete directly with Call of Duty and they will not win. They will not win. Battlefield has a core group of players who love that type of game, a core group of adults who have other adults that also are in the same boat who can line up their schedules to go ahead and play whenever they want or whatever it is. Like they have a core group. It's just that core group is not very big. So Battlefield 6 blew it out the water. Do I think that if they came out with a Battlefield 7 that they would hit the same numbers? I don't think so. I think this was a hype that they successfully created just at the same time as Call of Duty was in the mind's eye of the internet, doing horrible things with the skins in the game. Even though, like, let me tell you, I like Call of Duty fine. Like I beat Black Ops 7, I beat the campaign and played some of the zombie stuff. And I played a good amount. I prestiged on, the multiplayer, but like, I gotta tell you, I didn't lie when I went ahead and made, when I was on our show and I, kind of lost my shit on the fact that Call of Duty buckled, just like you mentioned, to the pressure. And they went ahead. And even though they promised that they were going to let you take your skins to Black Ops 7, they reneged and took it back and said, no, we're not going to do that. And I had bought a crazy amount of, I have so many skins, stupid amount of skins on Black Ops 6. Like I spent crazy money and now that's all gone. And I only did it because I was under the assumption that it was going to go to the next game. I thought they were going to Fortnite this bitch, right?
Like they do with, they've done it all the other ones where they bring your stuff forward. Yeah.
Like I thought they were going to bring my skins forward, but they didn't. And I said it on my show and I said it anywhere else that I've been. I'm not going to spend any money on any skins on Call of Duty. I'm just not, because they lied to me and that's my money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to invest on new skins or any of that crap, because I have no guarantee, especially now. Like, it's gonna be Modern Warfare. They're not doing it back to back, which means to me for sure they're not carrying over these skins to the next game, right? And I'm not down with that. So what I do is I take my money and I spend a shit ton of money on Fortnite skins. That's where I spend my money. Okay. But I was doing it for Call of Duty, and I gotta tell you, like, it is what it is. You can kind of, see it how you want to see it. But for me, one of the big allures to playing these ongoing multiplayer games are the skins.
Yes, 100%.
It's just what it is. It's just what it is. You can call me whatever you want, but I don't care if it doesn't have cool skins coming up in a regular basis. I have too many games to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to play Call of Duty. Like, I played it enough. I got my enjoyment out of it. I prestiged. That for me, prestiging one time is like beating the multiplayer. I did it. I did the whole spectrum. I ran the gamut. Yes, can I keep starting over? Sure, but I'm not gonna. I don't even remember the last time I played Call of Duty after I did that. I think I played the other day randomly, and it's just like, it's just not that exciting for me. It's just not. It just is what it is. I'd rather go play something else, right? I'd rather go play something else. That's part of the reason why Battlefield, aside from me just not liking the gameplay as much as I do Call of Duty, that it would never like entice me. Because if it's just the same generic military skins over and over and over again, just different different colors, you know what I'm saying? Like different guns or packs or like, I'm good.
Yeah.
It doesn't call me. It doesn't call me. And I think, you see that drop off for Battlefield 6, like I said, because again, it rolled that wave of Call of Duty hate, and then now it's done. It's done. They realize they all prefer to play Call of Duty. And like you brought up the numbers, man, numbers don't lie. Like, you can say what you want about anything that we say. At the end of the day, numbers don't lie. And on Xbox and on PlayStation, Call of Duty owns the ship. Now, to be clear and to be fair, that doesn't mean Black Ops 7 is running.
It was a significant drop off from 6. Why is that? You might be asking. Well, if you give me a second, I just want to add some context to what you're saying, because you're right. There was a significant drop off. I mean, like a really big one when you compare it to Black Ops 6. I don't make excuses for it, but this is the same kind of thing, C-Money, that we saw happen when they went from Modern Warfare 2, which was incredible, right? Then Modern Warfare 3 comes out half-baked, right? The game comes out, was supposed to be an expansion. We all know this. This is facts. You can go find it on any on the interweb anywhere you want. It was supposed to be a expansion. And what did Activision do, as they normally do? They got greedy. They put it out as a full release, and they added like a Warzone-esque single player to it that a lot of people didn't like. Now, I finished it. I found every gun in that mode, and that's like a 50 or 100 point achievement. And I actually went and fought for that. I very much enjoyed those Warzone level maps, single player. But they weren't a traditional single player. And what happened here? Well, Black Ops 6 comes out, and listen, I got numbers.
World, bro.
So you know what? Let me bring up the numbers here, because the numbers for context is I'm all about the evidence-based conversation. So I went and pulled this C-Money, and I sent it to you also. So again, Black Ops 7 multiplayer is phenomenal. I am really enjoying it. The maps have been great. They're bringing back 3 of my absolute favorite maps from 6 into 7. Yes, freaking please. I know that I said I wasn't going to do it, but I couldn't say no. I bought like 2 or 3 skins, and of course, I'm now running around in the T-55 armor because it's the thing with Fallout.
Almost cracked me.
It's dope.
Almost cracked me. I went in there,
good.
I saw it, and now they got Lucy separate. And
yes,
I was like,
dude,
oh, man,
I bought it. I'm not gonna lie, I bought it.
Bought this shit. I would have bought it, and I had a
caved, bro. I bent the knee. Activision got me. But so let's just look at the numbers. So Black Ops 6 comes out, and it basically envelops the world. And it made $1 billion in 36 hours of its release. Right, $1 billion. Now that wasn't the case for 7. 7 dropped off significantly, and there are reasons outside the game having a really half-baked multi a co-op campaign. I didn't like it. I started. I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to play this. I'm just going to go back to the multiplayer. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. At some point, we're going to, in one of our future casts, we're going to talk about Modern Warfare 4, which is expected to be, the return, if you will, in parentheses or in air quotes.
Bro, that was supposed to be Black Ops 7, though, right? To be fair, and like that's why I kind of like I think I'm more annoyed with Call of Duty than I like realize, because leading up to Black Ops 7, we had that dope ass trailer.
Yes.
Remember, like that dope ass trailer that looked like it was gonna do some crazy stuff. And it, don't get me wrong, it did crazy stuff, but it did it in a different way. It didn't do it in a Black Ops 6 kind of way where they did some crazy stuff that was perfection. Black Ops 6 is literally one of my favorite single player campaigns.
It's become my favorite in the series.
Yeah, definitely my favorite in the series, and it's one of my favorite just in general in all games. Like it's like that Titanfall, like that Titanfall 2 single player game to some people. For me, I thought the single player was good. I liked it, but some people like loved it so much. That's where I am with Black Ops 6. I fucking adored Black Ops 6 campaign. One of my favorites for sure. But Black Ops 7 was fine. I beat it. It was just different. It was just different, but it did not even attempt to, compete with Black Ops 6 as far as, the story and how
it was
and all that stuff. So, but leading up to it, Black Ops 7 was supposedly the one that they were waiting to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like now we're just hearing that. Now we're just hearing that every time, right? So Modern Warfare 4, sure. Modern Warfare 2 was really, really good. Modern Warfare 3 was fine. I played that and finished that. But Modern Warfare 4, am I excited? Yes, it's supposed to be the first next gen only Call of Duty. Great. But like, they're gonna have to do something. It's funny because like it's crazy like how I'm realizing, even as I'm talking about it, how that screwing me with the skins just made me just so much more capable to see the flaws. You know what I'm saying? Like it made it where I could just, now it annoys me that much more with what they did. So like I'm assuming Modern Warfare is going to look great, but is it going to be the game that we've been waiting for? I don't know. If I do the math, it sounds like a game that's been in development since Modern Warfare 3 or whatever it is. So that would be,
it's been a long time, but that, you see, okay, so I have two thoughts on this, C-Money, and I understand your caution, but what I'm hoping for is Black Ops 6 for Modern Warfare 4. Like 3 came out and it was a dud. A lot of people didn't like it. And, obviously that was their down year. Same, obviously we're hoping that, that's not the case with Modern Warfare 4. I have a strong suspicion that we're going to get the Black Ops 6 treatment. You're going to get a really strong single player. The multiplayer is going to come back in a big way. I really hope, I want to see Infinity Ward go back and forth with Treyarch. Like I want these two titans of Titanfall to fight for our dollar, to fight for, okay, we made this, oh, you made that. No, we're going to be one better. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. That would be nice, right? But then that will also start making me look at it like, oh, okay, so this is the game, right? It's 1 year they do something great. The next year is going to be what, like basic and really not push anything and just kind of ride on the name of Call of Duty to hope to get some dollars. And then is the next game that's going to actually be what they claim it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So like if that is the case, if Modern Warfare 4 is amazing like Black Ops 6, that will be phenomenal and I'll be very happy with that. But then I will also be skeptical as a mother, effort to
For
what the
5.
next game is going to
Yeah.
be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because then now you're just showing me your pattern. So you're saying you put everything into one, and then the next one you do an off year, but you still want our money, but you do an off year, right?
Well, the one thing that they have confirmed is there's no longer going to be back-to-back games. Now, what I mean by that, chat and see, is there's not going to ever be again a Modern Warfare 4 then 5. They're going to be breakups, meaning that Modern Warfare 4 is going to come out. It's going to do what it does, and Black Ops 6, 8 would be the next one. And then again, I don't know if they could get it to year. We'll see. I mean, maybe they're going to make it, because we talked about this the other day. There's a third team that out of Activision that they created. We don't know what they're working on, but I mean,
Elsewhere?
it could be another Call of Duty. I don't know, but I know that the popular ones are Black Ops and Modern Warfare. We'll see what happens. Look, again, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, Call of Duty is not dead, regardless of what the pundits, the haters, and the trolls want to try and sell you. It is, listen, I don't give a flying shit about the money. That does not do anything for me personally. I don't care how much money they make, unless they're putting it in my bank account or helping me pay the 20% that we need down for our home. They're not going to do that, so I don't care how much money they make. What I care about is good games. And right now, even though the Black Ops 7 wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, the multiplayer is delivering. I'm enjoying it. I'm very much looking
Multiplayer is
forward.
still fire.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is absolutely.
Call of Duty. The one thing you can never take away from Call of Duty is that at the end of the day, there's nothing that feels like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the perfect shooter as
It
far
is.
as controller in your hand, and you need to aim your weapon and kill the other person. It is perfection. There's no, and all they did was make it better. Like Black Ops 6 added that Omni movement that was just amazing. Now, Black Ops 7 actually for me regressed a little bit. It took away Omni movement for me a little bit. Like it's still there, but it's not as
it's not as prominent for sure.
Yeah, it's not as prominent. It's weird. I don't know what they did. The Black Ops 6 honestly is the perfect game. And I would venture that when you see Call of Duty as the number 2 played game every single month between either first or second between that and Fortnite, right now Black Ops 6 is carrying that on its back. I think there's a lot of people who took a look at Black Ops 7 and was like, all right, that's fun, don't get me wrong, like that's cool, but Black Ops 6 is still here and Black Ops 6 is better. You know what I'm saying? It's just a better game across the board in every way. So that's the one thing that Call of Duty kind of they almost like cheated the system a bit, right? They cheated the system a bit. But I also understand how, even though it cheated the system, it still makes sense, right? Because at the end of the day, if people are choosing to play Call of Duty, regardless of which one it is, and they're all in that same launcher, why not? It doesn't matter, right? It's great, and I think it's a cool way to do it, and frankly, other games to try to do it. But this is the reason why Battlefield doesn't do it, because even if you put all of Battlefield's games together, they're still not going to have the same amount of players that are in anywhere near Call of Duty. So it works for Call of Duty because it's a phenom.
Yeah, it has been for years. I don't see it slowing down. This year is the return of Infinity Ward. I am very excited to see what they're going to do. Modern Warfare 4 is something I am looking forward to. A lot of people are. And again, it's just a cog in the wheel that is this behemoth known as Xbox in 2026. It just really is. And I'm here for it. Game Pass day one. The Volt Edition that would normally cost anyone who bought it $100 on a PlayStation or anywhere else, you can get for $30 if you have Game Pass, because you don't have to buy the game, which I think is brilliant. And those $30 upgrade passes, a lot of people wouldn't buy the Volt Edition because it is $100, but are more inclined to do so because of Xbox Game Pass, which is, again, it's It's just brilliant marketing. And it's one that most people don't even think about. Oh yeah, $30. Yeah, here you go, take my money. And that's how it is. That's been, at least for me, for all of their games. If I don't get it from Microsoft for review and I'm buying it, like I didn't get any of the Call of Duties. I bought them, but I wound up buying the upgrade for $30, and I'm good because this is in Game Pass and it's not leaving. See, this is one of the maps that's coming to Black Ops 7. I freaking love this map.
It's a great map.
It's not too small, but it's big enough where if you run around with the shoddy with the flames, you're taking people's heads off, which is I like to do. The other one that's coming is Stakeout. That map is really tiny. So if you have like that, and they have like I don't know if you got them or not, they have the double shotties and Black Ops 7, bro. Those things are crazy, especially now I added the flame damage. Oh my god, it's like a flamethrower.
Like I've never been a shotgun guy.
Me either. No, only these. So, I like these, not the regular shot.
But they seem to be really good, especially when I see you on the screen, like destroying people with it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Crazy. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're halfway through the show. The show's gonna run maybe about $1.15, give or take. This is not really like a main topic, so I'm gonna say clip this. But see, money. Let's just talk about Forza Horizon's leak, because I know we're going to get into Gears. No one's really talking about Gears. I have to talk about Gears because I'm excited for it. It's one of the big 3 releasing this year. But see, money. Let's talk about Forza Horizon 6, because my hype level is through the roof, and I cannot wait for this game. And the date leaked, and you know something. You know who's responsible for this leak? Xbox themselves, because apparently, like we talked about on Primetime Gaming last night, ladies and gentlemen, it showed up as an advertisement within Forza Horizon 5. And I know that we saw a story from Jesse Norris of Xbox Era, great journalist, incredible reviewer. He said that he reached out to a couple of the other publications, and no one was able to duplicate what this poster, I believe it was.
Yeah, 'cause it's not live anymore.
I think they took it down.
And then they took it down.
They popped it down, which is why they could not. No one else saw it again. But the screen is out there, and see, money. We're obviously going to get the early access because we want to play early. It's not even a question, right? So it comes out on the 19th of May, which I think is perfect in my opinion. And of course, 5 days early on the 15th, we'll be playing it. You get all the bonus goodies, the car pack, the VIP pack, everything else. How excited are you for this game? Because I think, and I said this before, C-Money, and please push back if you think I'm being overzealous. I think that Forza Horizon 6 is going to be one of, not the, but one of the best-selling games in 26.
I honestly don't disagree. I think that that's a huge chance. I mean, listen, there is not a game that has had people's interest like Forza Horizon has. Like Horizon, I mean, they literally are the reason why motorsport is being put on the back burner. All right. It just kind of is what it is. Like you have to follow the players, right? And as much as there are, a lot of motorsport fans, the reality is that the people have spoken. Dude, you have over 50 million players.
55, brother.
55
million confirmed players.
Holy shit. So over 55 million players. And if you do the math, okay, people say that there's anywhere between, I've heard anywhere from like 25 to 35 million subscribers on Game Pass. And to have 55 million players, that means you have at least 20 million people who bought the game. At least 20 million who bought the game. And to be fair and realistic, 35 million people did not play it on Game Pass. I can't
Correct. Yeah.
believe that number to be true. So you're looking north of 20 million in just sales for Forza Horizon 5. And it's well deserved. It's literally, it's not one of the best racers that's been made. It's one of the best games that has been made. This is not a game that you need to be a driver, a driving game aficionado, right? Like you can go ahead and play that game and get on tracks and do something that's a little more, strict and regulated, and then you could just drive your car, man, and
Off
enjoy
cliffs
it,
like
enjoy
I
the
do.
beautiful vistas. Yes, man, like it's just so fun to drive from place to place. Like I never use fast travel. Like it's always just like I'm just gonna drive there. And sometimes I want to be, I want to feel like I'm in real life driving. So I'll stick to the road and just drive right and and interact with the cars correctly that are on the road. And then sometimes I'm just saying, F it, let me see how big of a jump that I can hit, and I'll drive all over the mountains and see. It's just like it's literally a playground. Like it's obviously is made by Playground, and they created a car playground. They created a car game that your inner child can have the most fun with ever. And no one does it like them. That's just
Yeah.
what it is. There's not 50 million people who play the Ubisoft. What's their Horizon
Oh,
copycat?
the
Remember they
crew,
made the Crew
the
2 or 3,
yeah.
whatever the last one was. Nobody, no, there's no one competing with Horizon in these streets. It just is what it is. Hell, Horizon's a 4-year-old game that went to PlayStation, and it's literally selling. If we talk about just pure console, for the first 9 months that Gran Turismo 7 was out, Horizon has outsold the PlayStation 5 version of Gran Turismo in the first 9 months that it was out. So same time frame, it was there, it outsold it. But put in PlayStation 4 numbers, and it's right there. More than 5 million on Horizon, and around that 5.5 million on Gran Turismo. This is a game that's an Xbox game that's 4 years old coming to their system, and that is their first party game that launched day one on their system, and it's literally just pacing what Forza is doing now. So at the end of the day, Horizon 6 is going to be crazy. And I mean, obviously, we're gonna find out exactly how it's all gonna go down, right?
7
Did they
days from
hold
now.
off? Exactly. Did they hold off so that they can go ahead and add a PlayStation and a Switch version? Are they gonna do a day and date? Are they saying we gave it a year on on PlayStation 5? The Horizon 5 had a year on PlayStation 5, and now they're going
Right.
to drop PlayStation 6 on a day and date? Or are they going to make the ponies cry and have them sitting there just looking out a window with the rain drizzling on the other side of it, staring off into the abyss with some emotional music playing in the background while we're all playing Forza Horizon 6? I don't know. We'll find out next week. But man, am I stoked for it. I'm so pumped for it. It really has the potential to be even bigger than Horizon 5 was, with that setting, with Japan.
Yeah.
Bro, that's like the dream that people have been having
Absolutely.
since the first Horizon.
Yep.
So I don't know how I don't think there's a version of this where they can mess it up. Like I just think it's grown in popularity, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's really a lot to take away from some of the commentary that came out from the devs themselves. Like we read a piece of it last night where one of the former developers said that that 5 Forza Horizon 5 was hampered by COVID-19's development,
Mm.
because they normally in order to make these big games, they're it's hands on, it's everyone in the office. This game was made from people's homes, and it's crazy to me when you hear that, because in my personal opinion, I think that Forza Horizon 5 is one of the greatest racers I've personally ever played. And I have a couple of other ones that are on the, top 5 list. I always talk about MotorStorm for the PlayStation 3. It's one of my favorite racers. Burnout 3 is another one. And for me, one of the granddaddies of them all was an Xbox 360 launch title, which is Need for Speed Underground. It's just one of my favorite racers. This game, or Forza Horizon 5, tops all of them. And this was supposedly hampered by the pandemic and them having to work from home. And I know that the quote from the former developer says that basically you're not going to believe what you're going to see with 6, and I agree. And again, it's hard to believe that it could get better than
Dude,
5.
we couldn't believe it when we were all watching the reveal trailer of Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, it's
We
true.
all thought that was real life Mexico. There was nobody was capping. Nobody was trying to gaslight anybody into believing that was the reaction. No, all of us together as a community, as a group of people who were all watching the same thing, we all sat there and literally believed that we were just being shown clips of real life Mexico. And I thought they were going to do like a comparison shot to say, hey, this is real life and this is the game. But no, it was just the game. When the car drove right by the camera and the camera instantly started just following it, that was a moment that would I don't think it could ever be duplicated. Even if they did it again right now, it would be amazing. But
wait to Japan, brother.
Like that one hit. It was So what? And that was a game that was hampered by COVID. Also, to be clear, a game that was built for Xbox One.
Yes,
right? It released on Xbox One. So no matter how you cut it, even if the game is optimized for the series console and it's pushing graphics on the series console, the basis of it, the very bottom of it, no matter what, is a game that had to comply to what Xbox One was capable of doing. And we all know that the Xbox One is literally 10 times weaker than the Series X.
100%.
And it's 2.5 times weaker than the actually it equals out to be more because the teraflops don't go the same, right? The new technology amplifies it even further than what the raw teraflops would tell you. So either way, the Series S and Series X are way past the Xbox One generation, and now you're gonna have them be unleashed and not shackled by that generation anymore. So I cannot wait. And look, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because the expectations are through the roof.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Like I gotta be honest with you. Like if I'm watching this live and it does anything short of effing blow me away, I'm gonna be disappointed. I need to see a substantial upgrade over what they've done as a whole. I need to see it. It has to be there. There's no excuses. I saw what you did on Horizon 5. I'm not playing this, God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok looks the same, but it's a new game. No. They better amp this up. Okay. I want something that looks next level. Again, Horizon 5 looks amazing. And it's not just the graphics for just the cars, because obviously the cars are pretty much perfect at this point, but the world, everything needs to be leveled up. But if anyone can do it, it's going to be Playground. I feel like it is, man. I feel like it is.
I listen. I can't disagree. We know that Forza Horizon 5 sold more copies than Ghost of Yotai and Death Stranding 2 combined. They confirmed 5.1 million copies sold so far. I have a strong suspicion. I said this last night, and I'll reiterate it again. I have a very strong suspicion that because Forza Horizon 6 is not launching on PlayStation 5 on the off the rip, it's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna do a year. I don't know if it's gonna do 6 months.
Well, maybe. We don't know if they made any changes, internally, and they said, you know what, we're gonna put something together for them. We're assuming that it's not gonna drop day one on another platform.
And we'll
I think
see.
it's a safe
If it does,
assumption,
it's more
but
money
we
for
don't know.
Xbox. Again, I
Exactly.
don't care. I don't care about the money thing, but I'll put it to this way. I believe this is just speculation, folks, that if it doesn't release on PlayStation 5 off the rip and it's just Xbox and it's PC, you're going to see you're going to see sales rocket on PlayStation 5 for Forza Horizon 5 because people are going to get hyped. People are going to want to play it. And we know again they sold pretty well. They've made over 300, according to numerous stories and reports, over $300 million on just that game. That's a really big deal.
Well, they're
But
going
look,
based off of $60 times 5 million, which is 300 million. But
I mean,
you
some
gotta
of that money
remember,
goes to PlayStation. Sony gets 30% for
yeah,
sure.
PlayStation gets
Yeah,
their cut, and remember, a lot of the copies that were sold initially were all the $99 ones, not the $60 ones. So, you know, there's that as well. So, it's around there, but they did extremely well bringing the game over there. And at the end of the day, like I said, they have everything going for them right now when it comes to Horizon. It's literally the best Horizon game that exists, right? Horizon Zero Dawn, unfortunately, is
I
not
dare say
something
it's
that
the
anybody
best
thinks
racer of
about.
last gen,
It's
100%.
definitely the last. I mean, it's the best racer of I don't
Any
even know
gen.
when. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's been as good as Horizon
I
5. Like Horizon, or maybe Horizon 4 was close. Like it's just like they're in a league of their own, man. They're in a league of their own. It's just kind of is what it is. Xbox just has certain things that they own, that other people can't seem to duplicate. And you would think it wouldn't be that difficult to make a car game, considering that there's been car games, for 40 years or however long gaming has been going on, right? Like it's like you would think somebody would be able to make it work like Playground has, but nah, Playground they're the kings. They're the tip of the spear, as you say.
Yep.
They're the
Mhm.
best,
Indeed.
the best out there. So I'm so excited. And then they're going to show how much more dominant they can be just as a namesake playground, and where what the leadership can do when they're in charge. And we're going to see Fable, that's also a playground joint, obviously not playground the Forza team, but a separate RPG team that they made to make Fable. And we're going to see what they do there. And we're about to get literally, like, Obsidian came out at the last show in June and showed us two of their bangers. You know what I'm saying? And then they have released a third, but they showed us two, and they were very different, right? You had Outer Worlds and Grounded, two very different beasts, both equally amazing games. We're about to see Playground give us that two shot right on the rip next week. We're gonna see Fable. We're going to see Forza Horizon 6. And part of me wonders, are we going to get a sneak peek at what the third Playground studio is working on?
Oh
Again,
man.
I know
Yeah.
people don't remember, but they did make a third studio.
Yep, they sure
So
did.
that they were helping with Fable, sure. Learning the engine and the tools and all that stuff. That's the way you start a studio, and you have them work on something already in motion so that they can learn the tools and learn from the people who work on this engine, and then you move them forward and you go ahead and have them work on their thing. You don't make a new studio to support your other studios. You just hire people for the studio that you have.
Yeah,
It
correct.
just it just makes sense, right? So maybe we get a sneak peek. That would be crazy.
That
But
would be
just
kind
with
of
the
dope,
two,
dude.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just with the two is going to be insane.
I like, look, first of all, to think that you're going to get Fable and Forza Horizon 6 in the same direct is just nuts.
And it has to. That means Fable is soon. That means Fable is soon. Doodle told like her speculation, which I kind of tend to agree on, is that Fable's going to take the Avowed time slot. That
dude,
February,
that'd
sometime
be
in
dope.
February. Woo! That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
So Brett Bingham in the chat says, plot twist, the third studio is working on the next Forza Motorsport now. That would be
Turn 10 is an amazing studio.
They are.
an
They just
studio.
Yeah.
It's just it's just people rather play Horizon.
Yeah.
It's just, if Motorsport was the only thing we had, I guarantee you that Motorsport would be selling through the roof. It would be selling like crazy because it would have been the only driving game that Xbox made, and people would have supported. But Horizon started underneath Motorsport, then over time equaled Motorsport, and then over time surpassed Motorsport, and now they're not even in the same conversation. It's just the reality of what it is.
You know what's funny? I said this the other day, and we have a member of the chat, Bash Video Editor, says the third studio could bring back Project Gotham. I said that a couple of days ago. I said, man, if they wanted to bring something back, Project Gotham would be freaking dope. I don't know. I know, obviously, well, Bizarre Creations.
It would be crazy.
Was purchased by Activision. I don't know if they retained the rights for Project Gotham, and obviously Microsoft bought Activision. I have to look into that, but that would be dope. I'd be down for a new Project Gotham.
I think it's a cool idea. I think the reality is the world that we live in right now, Project Gotham Racing, that name doesn't mean anything to anyone other than us OGs.
But they could bring it back. They could make it fresh and
compete
cool.
with. But to compete with what? Horizon? Like, this is the thing. For me, you have to look at it like certain games become bigger, right? And I feel, even though they're going to keep making multiple Horizons, for the car enthusiast, like somebody who likes to racing games, right, to have fun, I feel like Horizon is already the epitome of it. Like, is the tops of the top. So I feel like if you're going to take like Project Gotham Racing was the kudos system, right? Which is what you get in Horizon. It's not called kudos, but in Horizon, every time you do something cool, you get points, right? They took that system, they already made it bigger and better. It's already absorbed in there. So at that point, all Project Gotham Racing is a good racing game, right? The kudos system is really what made it different, but Horizon has that already. So if there's a certain mode or something that could exist in Project Gotham Racing, they could just bring it into Horizon and let that be the vehicle to move things forward. Like, just like Fortnite has like 48 different modes now that are officially made by Epic, because instead of making a different shooter completely and hoping that people go buy it, they just said, no, they're already playing Fortnite. It's easier to convert them to play something in the place that we already have them. And Horizon's already a monster of a brand. So much so that if you say Horizon without any context, most people are going to think Forza and not Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
It's just the reality. So Horizon Zero Dawn should probably change his name.
We're eating good when it comes to racers, and there's no one better than Forza. And Forza Horizon 6 is getting welcoming home party next week at this time. Obviously, I know we won't be doing our regular show because you're going to be streaming with Doodle, and of course I'll be streaming as well. But we will meet at some point to talk about it because there's going to be a lot to talk about. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, let me catch up on Super Chats. There's been quite a few of them, and we got to get to the Gears of War topic now. There's not a lot of information, but I have some thoughts because okay. So why I feel bad for Gears of War isn't because the game is going to suck and no one cares. But in the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, we haven't had a lot of news for Gears of War. That's all going to change soon enough. When I couldn't tell you But we've all been talking about Halo Campaign Evolved, which looks freaking it's my most anticipated game. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
Halo apologist. I don't care. Big Bad Mo, I know you in the chat. He's gonna write hashtag retire chief. I hear
Never.
you, but
Never.
I can't roll with you on that, brother. I just
Chief will
can't.
never die.
And then of
Chief
course
will
all of
never
this
die.
talk about Forza, no one's talking about Gears, and there's a lot. I listen. We have a little bit. We're going to get into some. I have again another story from Windows Central, which both stories have been added to the show notes. If you want to give them a read, by all means. But the first super chat of the day comes the way of Will the Broke Boy Insider. He says every studio would kill for Call of Duty's quote dead numbers. And I actually said that, Will. That's brilliant, because you're absolutely right. There are studios that would want a quarter of their players and numbers and microtransactions, and they'd be okay with that. But again, I think a lot of the Battlefield versus Call of Duty dead was because Xbox owns Call of Duty. I think that's the catalyst for the hate, because Microsoft owns the IP. It's in Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, you don't have to buy the game. You simply have to continue to pay for your subscription. And if you play anywhere else, you have to buy it, except for like on PC, which you can get Game Pass there too. But we have a gifted sub from our brother from Hawaii. Aloha to you and the fam. He has gifted, Ninovistic has gifted one double barrel gaming membership, as he's done so many times before. So thank you, aloha, once again, brother, and thank you so much for the generosity. It's me, the broke boy, which I'm going to start using instead of Will the Broke Boy Insider. He drops an additional $10 super chat and says, not a bad few days on Prime Video gaming show / series adaptation news. Yesterday, God of War Kratos announced, who of course is playing it, Ryan Hurst. I think that's a really good pick. I don't know the actor like through and through,
He
but
voiced Thor, if I'm not
voiced
mistaken.
Thor. Yes, he in the follow up. Yeah, so he's a part of the universe already. So I actually like that pick. I think I know that everyone's like, oh, he doesn't look like Kratos. Well, I mean, he has the big beard like him. I mean, give the guy a break. He's got to get into freaking costumes. He's gonna look great. I cannot wait for it. So yeah, shout out to you, Will. Thanks so much for the generosity. Jonas the Dad, salute to you, Jonas. Great to see you here, brother. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, but thank you for the kind words. He says, I love the Fallout controller short. Yeah, I did an unboxing right before the show went live. I'm starting to do shorts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm adding some new content, and I did 3, and those 3 have gotten me 6,000 views. I can't freaking believe it. Like, I was like, and Mrs. Boom, look, to give her the credit where credit is due, she's been on me. She's like, you should do these shorts. You got the camera. You do them quick. You buy so much shit. Share with the people. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I don't know if anyone's gonna. She was right. So once again, Mrs. Boom, if you're listening, I know she's not, but she's working. She was right again. So there you go.
As they tend to be.
They always are. Yeah.
Right, they tend to be.
She is definitely the better half and the smartest one in the room when she walks in. So shout out to Mrs. Boom. But thank you, Jonas, for the $2, and thank you for the comment. I'm glad you liked the video. Yeah, it was a quick unboxing. I got the new Fallout controller, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you folks that I bought that one, and then I started to get a little like, man, maybe I should have gotten the Elite. I bought the Elite one too. God damn it. So there you go. I bought the Elite one, and that's going to be coming, and I'll do an unboxing for that when I get it. We also have here, it's me, the broke boy, gifting one double barrel gaming sub. Brother, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much for doing that. And Dan the Man Cunningham in the chat drops a very generous $5 super chat. He says he's going on a cruise in a couple of days, and guess whose show I'll be listening to on the island of the Bahamas. Keep up what you're doing, Boom. Much love, brother. Well, thank you so much for the kind words and the generosity, Dan. And enjoy your vacation, man. That is freaking cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
That's
the
dope.
Bahamas, nice. It's a good time of year for it too. You're gonna get a lot of nice sun and probably tan real nice. And well, it's me, the broke boy, drops an additional very generous $2 super chat and says you didn't read all of the $10 super chat. I didn't. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So he says, today Sophie Turner. Picture in dress as Laura Croft in her wardrobe testing. Yeah, I mean, look, Amazon is hitting on all cylinders with these shows. They have Fallout, which is doing really well. I did not see yesterday's episode. Mrs. Boom and I are going to watch it today. The season 2 has just been like absolute dynamite. Wolfenstein has a series coming out. They have obviously, Tomb Raider. They have now God of War. I really like what they're doing, and they're putting out a lot of content. I'm waiting for, and maybe we get it this year because of the 20th anniversary of Gears. Obviously, the new game is releasing later this year. I want to see what's going on with Netflix. They have the IP. Like, what are they doing? Because the writer and the director, if you didn't know, folks, did the John Wick films. Yes, freaking please. They're the ones doing Gears of War, and there's an anime coming out as well. I can't wait to see what the animation looks like. So I think it's going to be a big year for Gears of War. And you know what? With all of that said, C Money, let's segue into this Gears of War story. Now, again, this article was posted. Now, this is going back a little bit, folks. It didn't get enough play, in my personal opinion. And when I was looking for some new Gears of War E-Day news, this popped up into my feed. So, again, shout out to Windows Central for posting this. The author of the article, Samuel Tolbert, which I like Sam a lot. He does a lot of really good articles over at windowscentral.com. And the title of the article, C-Money, says Gears of War E-Day is, quote, the coalition's most ambitious game yet, says studio head, and the upcoming Xbox sequel will be the best place to jump into the Gears universe, because obviously it's a prequel to the first one that we all know and love. Now, it goes on to say this. Samuel says this in his article. As Gears of War E-Day is set to launch in 2026, the Coalition studio head Mike Crump says that it's the team's most ambitious game yet. So let me read a little bit of a couple of the excerpts from this, and we'll get your thoughts on this, because I do have some super high hopes for this. And I'm going to tell you why I'm excited, but I am going to obviously follow that with a little bit of disappointment, because I really did not love the Gears of War Reloaded. I played through it. It's not what I wanted, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be quite frank. I got an updated graphic version that seemed like it was a copy and paste. I beat the game. I did get it for free because I owned the original one, and that was pretty cool that Xbox, gave that copy to anyone who purchased it. I think that is brilliant. You don't ever see that with Nintendo or PlayStation. So that was, thumbs up to them. But and again, this is on me. This is completely on me. I was mentally sold on the rumor of Gears of War 1, the original, getting this Unreal Engine 5 upgrade. And that's not what we got. We got an Unreal Engine 3 upgrade. And I thought it was, I was disappointed. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. And yes, I did play through it. Yes, I did beat it, but it's not what I really wanted. Gears of War E-Day is what I am hoping it's going to be. And again, based on some of the conversations that I've been in that have been private, it's a looker. It's going to be one of the best works that they've ever done. We know that they're using Unreal Engine 5.7, which has been upgraded. And I'm here for it. But again, Simon, let me read some of the article that Samuel put out. And he says, speaking with Xbox Wire, the Coalition studio head Mike Crump reflected on the launch of Gears of War Reloaded, while also providing some comments on the upcoming Gears of War E-Day. And this is a quote directly from Mike Crump. He says, this is our most ambitious game yet, entirely built from scratch in Unreal Engine 5 to feel like Gears and play like new. This is a return to our roots as Marcus and Dom face the Locust for the first time ever. It's the best place to jump into the Gears universe, and we can't wait to share more with you next year. Now, again, it's not a lot here. We got a chance, and again, I was ass in seat with Hargeet and Kay Asante and a bunch of other people who saw this live happen. not last year's, obviously. I keep calling it E3
June
Xbox,
showcase.
yeah, but it was the year prior.
Yep.
And my goodness, what the crowd was absolutely electric. As a matter of fact, I think it's that for that particular year, it was my most viewed video. I think I had like 44,000 views on that, which is just absolutely insane. So see money, look, we don't have a lot. This year in particular, I I kind of I'm kind of hoping that we just don't get the one direct because I think it's going to be unfair to the other games, right? Like, so we know that a week from today, we are getting confirmed a game from the Pokemon Company, which looks freaking amazing. So again, shout out for Xbox partnering with them and bring them in on this. But we're also going to get the spotlight shined really on Playground Games on two incredibly sized games. I kind of feel like we're gonna need something similar for Gears of War. It's deserving of it, at least in my opinion. I don't know if they are gonna do any other directs, but see, money. Let's get your thoughts on that because look, if you just take a simple step back and you look at what could be coming out this year, and I say could because there are some titles I'm gonna make mention of that might not make it this year because it's not enough room for them. But also, it's one of those things. So look, we know for a fact, see money, that Modern Warfare 4 happening this year,
Yep.
Fable happening this year, Halo campaign evolved happening this year, right? We also have Forza Horizon 6, which we were just gassing up just a second ago. There's some talk, and it's mostly talk from me. Most people will poo-poo this and not believe it. I still believe that Clockwork Revolution is this year, and I say that with both some documented evidence as well as personal beliefs. So my personal beliefs, like I always tell you folks, opinions, everyone has one, right, wrong, or indifference, it's yours. So that's mine. But we did see of one of the former artists that worked with In Exile had it posted on his LinkedIn that this game was coming out. It said Clockwork Revolution 2026, and then when it made the rounds of everyone, he took it down. I mean that's pretty good evidence in my opinion. So I don't know, but I kind of
Yeah.
I really want a big blowout to Gears, right? Like, and so again, folks, walk with me on this. I think it's important because if you look at what the is written in the article, where Mike Crump actually says this is a great jumping off place or point for anyone that's going to be new to Gears to get into it, and he's right for it because obviously it's a prequel. It's going to show Emergence Day, right? But there's also the fact that there are rumors, and Paris Lilly talked about this. He believes, and I don't know if this is true or not. We'll have to see when the game gets unveiled and if it's releasing day and date on PlayStation. But you're gonna want to sell this new game to PlayStation gamers if it's a dual release or a triple release because it's gonna release on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So you're gonna need a nice presentation for this thing. It can't be a vlog or as an Xbox Wire article. We need to see this game running and we need to see gameplay. Like I want this to really get the same shine you're going to see some of the other titles get. Let's get your thoughts on that, man.
I mean, I kind of agree when it comes to Gears. Like, um, sadly, Gears is a huge IP that for Xbox people, but not really much else, right? It doesn't have like too much huge fanfare outside of the Xbox ecosystem. And I would argue that even if you're talking about like newer Xbox fans are not huge on Gears. And like for me, obviously I've been there the entire time. I love Gears. Gears is awesome. Um, and like you, I was hoping that we would see more from the Gears Reloaded, more of a like create like a real like remake and brought up to like today's standards, but it's not. It's it's a refreshed look at the game. It definitely looks good, but not no one's gonna confuse it for an older game that has just been made to look pretty, right? Um, so that's just what it is with that. But I think ultimately, there's no amount of talk that's gonna matter when it comes to Gears. So like this guy saying that it's the most ambitious game or the best Gears or the biggest they can say whatever they want about it. I think the zeitgeist in gaming doesn't really have Gears involved in it right now. Um so really what's going to count is what you just kind of alluded to is they have to make the world stand up, and take notice, right? And the only way they will do that is by having it shown at a place where you're going to force a lot of eyes to be there, right? Um Obviously it's not happening in this direct, but there is the June showcase. And I would argue that although Halo is my most anticipated game, and I think like I'm so pumped for it. I think out of any other game, because remember, those are the four horsemen for the year, right? Your Fable, your Halo, Gears, Forza, and Fable.
Yep.
We're seeing Fable and Forza up front. So there's only two left, right? And I do think out of the two, Halo is the one that probably does not need a, you know, a showcase to do a big bump. That doesn't mean you don't show it at the showcase. I 100% think they'll show it at the showcase, but I think Gears is going to be the extra slot at the end of the showcase. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
How
Yeah.
like how Obsidian had the spot to show Outer Worlds and Grounded. I think Gears will take that spot at the June showcase because it's going to come out after the June showcase, right? That's just what's going to happen. So um I think that that's where we see it. I think that's where it gets its time to shine, unless there's going to be a surprise, unless we're
Yep.
going to see Clockwork Revolution or State of Decay 3 this year. Then maybe that will be the surprise and that takes that slot. We don't know, but I'm on board 100% with what you're saying. I think that in order for Gears to have hype, um, and for them to for people to be really pumped and excited for the new Gears, it's not a tell, it's a show. You have to show us. You have to show us why we need to be hype, not tell people, right? Words like that for me sound great, right? The biggest I know Coalition, I know their skill set, I know what they've done. I personally love the Gears 4 I thought was fantastic, and Gears 5 I also really enjoyed. So I'm not one of those people who only like the first trilogy or whatever. I like the 4 and 5 that Coalition worked on. So um I believe in their skill set and I know that they're fully capable, especially knowing their work with Unreal Engine, and how good they are at using that engine. So, we know that that trailer that we got from E-Day, that reveal trailer, supposedly that was all in-game assets, right? Obviously, it was a cinematic, but it was all in-game assets. And, in a post Hellblade world where, you know, the cinematics and the gameplay look the same, um, it's very easy for me to believe that Gears E-Day is going to look like that trailer, right? Um, and I think a lot of people forget that Coalition opened up another studio to work on animations.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
that was the sole purpose was for them to work on animation tech. And now that's going to be the question, because what we saw from that trailer was amazing, right? Like if we knew that that was an actual cutscene from the game or something, and it just went there, and then you're transitioning back to the main game, and it looks the same. I mean, the animation was amazing, right? Like it just looked phenomenal. So, um, I think that for somebody like me and you, it's a lot easier to um sell the idea to. But again, I just don't think that Gears um is in the zeitgeist right now.
Mm,
Maybe this Netflix show can change that if it releases sometime soon, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So because of that, like I said, what's clear to me that it absolutely needs to be a show. They need to show us in a substantial way, not just a quick here's a trailer for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. No, I need a full blown big presentation to show me stuff, show me parts, show me gameplay, tell me the story. Why should I be excited? What innovation are you bringing? Like that's what we're gonna need, and I think they'll do that. I think that that'll take the June slot at the end of the showcase, in my mind.
yeah,
But
it's also, you say the June showcase, what they normally do, and I think this is what you meant, is usually after the showcase, they have
mhm,
like a developer direct, like,
yeah, that's attached to it.
yeah, yeah.
They
So
did
that's
the
that.
Obsidian one.
Yeah,
They did
I
the
I
one
actually
before
think
that.
you're onto something. That actually would be a good spot for it. To give it its own shine. Let it get out there. Let people, like you said, you literally said everything I was thinking. Let people know why they should care, why
Yeah,
they
but
should be excited.
you wanna piggyback on something that already has the eyes, right? If you just say, "Hey, this is a Gears of War direct," you're not gonna get the eyes, because again, it's
Mm,
not in the zeitgeist. Me and you, we're gonna watch it for sure.
yeah,
The regular Joe Blow person who's just, looking to see what's coming to Xbox, they're not gonna watch a individual direct for it. It's not gonna happen. So they need to piggyback it right to the June showcase where the most eyes are gonna be, and you give it that time. You give it that time to shine and really plead its case. Show us why we should be excited, why the general, public should be excited, right? The non gears heads, right?
yeah.
Um,
The
so
normies,
you
the
know,
normies. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think even you and I are a lot closer to the normies than we are these gear, you know,
Oh
like your boy
yeah. I don't play
Shadow,
Gears
right?
Online or anything like that. Yeah.
Um, yeah, like the people who like just are obsessed with like some people, and I know that this is a thing, but for some people, they're wrong, but it's okay. They look at Gears like we look at Halo, right? And obviously, there's not even, they're nowhere near, but to them it is, and some people that's fine, if they want to think that that's the high profile game for Xbox, that's okay. But no, Gears is dope. I'm just fucking around. Um,
Oh man,
there's not a
we're
lot of
gonna get
them.
the
Let's just put it
comments.
this
People are
way.
gonna be like, I'm raging. What do you mean you don't like PS? How dare
I know
you?
Crispy Bomb is in here.
Yeah, I know. Crispy's probably raging right now as we speak. I'm gonna get a dirty text like, "What? What do you mean?"
Oh man, that's
But
funny.
listen, ladies and
That's
gentlemen, that's gonna do it for us here. We do have a member chat here from Shine Films, who's been a channel member for 28 months, brother. That is incredibly kind of you.
that's
Thank you so
dope.
much. He says, "Boom! Did you see the new promo video from the Xbox Developer Direct? There's an emphasis on the number 6. What if they show 6 games next week, bro? I did not even see that.
What? Wait. What
I
new promo? You're
It's
talking
a
about
new,
like right
yeah,
now?
yeah, like
Today?
literally right now. You know what I'm gonna do? Because we're getting ready to get out of here. I will use that as an opening salvo topic. I want to see what you're talking about because now that you said that, I'm wondering whether or not me and Colt Eastwood are gonna get vindicated because if they're gonna show 6 games and have one shadow drop, that would make 7, and that would make us right through, basically. And again, I don't mind being wrong. If I'm wrong, folks, I'm going to get in front of the class and be like, yep, I got it wrong, my source was wrong, it's okay. But this is interesting. Shine Films, thanks so much for that. And of course, I will give you a shout out tomorrow as we're going to use this, what he says right here, as an opening salvo for in fact, you know what, let me just do a screen grab so I can give Shine give give Shine the shine. So okay, I got it. Okay, so thank you, Shine Films, for that. That's going to be the opening salvo for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Breakfast at Boom returns at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this Saturday, the Very Rare Podcast, me, my brother, and my two friends that I grew up with are doing our annual Game of the Year podcast. It's going to run about 90 minutes. That's going to be going live 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. I have not even set up the show yet. I have not even generated the thumbnail. I have to make the thumbnail from scratch, and I'll put it out there for you fine folks. But again, tune in if you're interested to check it out. But see, Money, let's get you out of here, brother. Sell the brand of On Point for gamers. You and the missus do a great job each and every week, not only playing games with the community, but putting on great showcases, your own, with your own style of way and way of doing things. You also review a lot of games. Let's talk about it, brother. Where can people continue your growth with the channel? And again, you guys did an amazing job last year. You put some really good work in. You went to a lot of the big events. And well, sell the brand, brother. Where can people subscribe to your YouTube channel? But more importantly, follow you guys on social media.
Well, obviously, Boom, like always, man. I appreciate you having me on, bro. I like doing the show. 12 p.m. Thursdays, Xbox Live. We're here in the building. So definitely shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you. And then yeah, man, over on Point. Yes, we have a lot cooking all the time. I just put the link in the chat. We right now we have 3 shows that we're doing aside from like videos and shorts and all that fun stuff. We have Tuesday nights Night Quest. It's our podcast. Myself, Doodle, and our boy Farrell Bazaar. To 8 p.m. Eastern time. Definitely a fun time. Come check it out. Thursday nights, which is tonight, is where we do the aforementioned live stream gaming, where we do like a medley. Okay, where we go ahead and we play. It's normally about 4 games in the night, and we normally end with a multiplayer game of some sort that we play with the community. So that's every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Definitely come check us out and rock with us. So tonight we will be live. We have quite a few games that we're going to be playing. And, I don't often do this, but I can't front, man. The love of my life right now when it comes to what's taking my time in gaming is Arc Raiders, man.
Yeah.
I am so in, my dude. Like I
bought it. I haven't even played it yet, man.
Bro, you got to do it. To dive into it. It's so good. It's so like there's, I would say, a little learning curve in the beginning, but once you kind of get into it, it's really fun. And like I said, just come play. I mean, we had our boy Game Shark. He bought the game last week to play with us, and he had just started, and we went ahead and did some of the starting missions with him.
Nice.
And it was dope. It was dope. We had a great time. Our boy Be Nice, who's normally in the chat, he's normally rocking with us, and he's aggressive, so he causes problems because other
so he's basically your version of, for me, which I'm considered Roscoe Jenkins for Division. I'm always one looking for trouble or trouble. Listen, I don't look for trouble. Trouble finds me all
trouble
the time.
Finds you.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that. So yeah, but it's a good time, and we did Arc last week as the last game, and
nice.
I think honestly we're going to go back to back as the community game tonight. I think we're gonna go ahead and play Arc again. So we have 3 games we're gonna play, and then Arc. I think the difference I'm gonna do is I think tonight I'm gonna play on PC so I can maximize the prettiness.
Okay.
So that is more than likely the way it's going to go down. So definitely come check us out. 8 p.m. for the show to start, where we'll play 3 single player games, and then normally around 10:30, 11 o'clock, the multiplayer will start.
Nice.
We have a good time. So definitely come check us out. And then of course we have our Friday night shows, Night Shift Let's Talk Gaming, which has been on quite the hiatus because unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it was it's great for us. But our son's birthday
Yeah.
was last Friday, so obviously we didn't do a show. And our twins' birthday is this weekend because they were 10 years apart, but 1 week apart
Wow.
in the birth. So this weekend we will be with the family again, or this Friday we will be with the family again. So we won't be doing a show this Friday. All goes well, next Friday we should be back in action. But yeah,
Family first, brother. Family
that's right,
first.
always and forever, man. So this particular Friday we will not be in the building, but normally we are. It's with me, Doodle, Demo, and Hargeet Chani. So it's definitely a good time. So definitely come check out our channel, man. Come check out our show. Like I said, we do post videos as well, and we do shorts. And one of the things that we're going to be doing more now are kind of like reactionary videos where like a piece of news breaks and we might just go put up a video on it. So we did that with the Xbox Direct when that broke, and then with the Forza Horizon leak, we went ahead and did that. So we're kind of, not every little thing, but we're kind of going through and just adding a little more content as we can, where it makes sense for us. But yeah, man, come check us out. I'll drop the link again in the chat. But
Nice.
yeah, we appreciate you guys. We're on our road to what, 30. That's our goal. By the end of the
Yes.
year, that'll be nice.
Yeah,
So
very dope, dude.
so we'll see. But
Oh,
yeah,
you
man.
keep doing, you keep putting in the work. You're gonna keep getting those subs, brother. So congratulations to you and the gang for getting it out and getting the work done. Again, this ain't easy, folks. It's not easy, but it's great to see when you see the success. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it
Appreciate
for
you,
us.
bro.
A big thank you to all of the super chats, channel member chats, and gifted subs that continue to come in. Mrs. Boom and I are internally grateful for the generosity of this community. And of course, we're going to close out the show, See Money, with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully, one day, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of X Vlog Live.